Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 360 experience with myself, Thomas Maba. So guys, it's nice to be back on the platform. It's nice to be back on the platform. I know that many people today are talking about stage 6 load shedding. We are experiencing the worst kind of load shedding. This is the worst kind of load shedding, man. And the comrades at the African National Congress are not taking any responsibility for anything. So apparently, according to the ANC and the EFF, because this is what these people are sharing, they are sharing the sentiments that there is a clear sabotage at ESCOM. The ANC says that they are blaming the sabotage at ESCOM, and Fikile Mbalula actually applauds the work that the minister and the board of ESCOM has actually done in ESCOM, because these people have managed to give South Africans and provide South Africans with electricity. These people have managed to provide South Africans with uninterrupted electricity for such a long time that today we are experiencing stage 6 load shedding, and it is not their fault. It is the fault of the sabotagers. People are trying to embarrass the African National Congress. Guys, this is what the ANC is saying. This is what the ANC is saying. Don't you find it strange that Ramaphosa a couple of days ago was talking about the load shedding will be the thing of the past, but right after that we are into stage 6 load shedding? Isn't it funny? And the ANC coming out and saying that, man, this is a clear sabotage at ESCOM. They are saying that someone is sabotaging them at ESCOM. Man, this is something that the ANC has been saying for such a long time. So the question is, what have these people done about this quote unquote sabotage that is happening at ESCOM? What have these people done? Because every time the country plunges into stage 6, stage 8 load shedding, the first thing these people say is that, nah, this was clear sabotage. This was clear sabotage. So what is it that these people have done? What is it these people have done? Nothing. They've done nothing. And I think this is an easy way for the African National Congressman to divert from taking accountability. Because you know, the ANC, it is not the party that takes accountability. Everything that is wrong in this country, it is the fault of someone. It is not the fault of the ANC. Everything that you see in this country that is broken, that is not the fault of the African National Congress. You see that infrastructure, it is not the fault of the ANC. You see that broken down hospitals and the clinics, that is not the fault of the African National Congress. You see the water shortages, it is not the fault of the African National Congress. You see the open sewages in the townships. You see the illegal dumpings all over the townships in South Africa. That is not the fault of the African National Congress. That is the fault of someone else. That is the fault of someone else. So I think for the past few months, the ANC has made it clear to South Africans that, guys, everything that is wrong in this country, it is not our fault. And I don't know how many times must the ANC come out and tell South Africans that, guys, all of these things that are wrong in the country, it is not our fault. It is someone else's fault. Despite the fact that we've been running the country for the past 30 years, despite the fact that there is clear evidence that most of our cadres are corrupt, it is not our fault. It is the fault of someone else.
First and foremost, we want to applaud the work that has been done by the minister and the board of ESCOM.
I mean, like, Fikile Mbalula says that he wants to applaud the work that has been done by the minister and the board of ESCOM. Guys, is there something that we can applaud ESCOM for? Is there something that we can applaud ESCOM for? You know, man, I would love to live in this wonderland of Fikile Mbalula and President Ramaphosa, where ANC is working for its people, where there is no load shedding. I would love to live in this place, because these people, man, they come out and applaud the people who are completely incompetent. Fikile Mbalula comes out and he applauds the people who are completely incompetent and says these people have been doing an amazing job. These are the kind of leaders that black people love. These are the kind of leaders that black people are obsessed with. And I don't know what this obsession with, especially with black people and the African National Congress, I don't know where this obsession comes from, the African National Congress and black people. These people are completely, man, they are literally oppressing black people. There is no water in the townships. There is no electricity in the townships. There is no security in the townships. There are no schools in the townships. But for some reason, black people in this country, they still favor the African National Congress. And for some reason, black people in this country, majority of them, they're still going to go out and vote for the African National Congress, despite everything that the ANC has done to them. And I think at this point, the ANC has realized that in this country, we have people who will always defend the movement. There is no need for us to go around and acknowledging our wrongs. There is no need for that. There will always be people in this country, millions and millions of people in this country. They will always vote for the African National Congress. It doesn't matter what the party does. It doesn't matter what the party does. So the ANC has actually realized that, man, if we start blaming everything on apartheid, if we start blaming everything on sabotagers, if we start blaming everything on the boogeyman, then we are fine. South Africans are fine with that. South Africans are fine with that. So there is no need for the movement to take any accountability for anything. So I think for the past few months, the ANC has actually made it clear to South Africans that, guys, we are not going to take accountability for anything that is happening in the country. Do not ask any accountability from the African National Congress. It is not the fault of the ANC that all of these terrible things that are happening in the country are happening under them. I mean, if you could hear Ramaphosa talk about state capture, you would swear that Ramaphosa was far from the African National Congress. Ramaphosa was the deputy president of the country. State capture was, man, Ramaphosa was the deputy president of the country. These people, last time Fikile Mbalula was talking about the banks and the banks are manipulating the rand. All of these things, they are happening under the ANC. All of these things that the ANC is trying to complain about, they are happening under the ANC. And the ANC hasn't done anything about all of these issues. I hope that the black people, man, see these people for who they are. I hope one day black people, man, can stop seeing these people as celebrities. I hope black people one day can stop accepting these people to come into their communities with open arms. I hope black people, man, can start giving these people the kind of treatment they deserve. These people, man, they do not deserve to go around and lying to the people. They deserve the harsh treatment from the citizens of this country for the terrible job they have done running this country. They deserve a harsh treatment from the people of this country. Man, I'm sick and tired of these people, man, blaming everything on someone else. It is not their fault. Man, this is one reason why I'm saying the ANC, having the ANC governing the country, man, it is the most dangerous thing ever. It is not their fault. You know, guys, there's nothing disgusting than someone who won't simply acknowledge their faults. You know, people who don't love acknowledging their faults, man. There is nothing disgusting than people who don't want to acknowledge their faults. More especially if they are in government. More especially if their decisions are affecting the poor people of this country. They are making poor decisions and they come out and say, that is not our fault. That is not our fault. I mean, the fact that today we still have the comrades running the ESCOM, it makes no sense. Ramaphosa should have got rid of all those comrades at ESCOM, man. Put engineers there. Put engineers, people who actually know what they are doing. No, they won't do that. They won't do that. That's why Fikile Mbalula comes out and applauds these people. The same people who are incompetent. The same people who cannot provide the South Africans with the electricity that people are paying for. People are paying for electricity each and every day, but there is no electricity in their homes. It is never their fault, man. It is never their fault. You can go, even with the state-owned entities, man, you can go to each and every one of these entities that have failed. There's an excuse from the African National Congress why that entity failed. There's an excuse for each and every one of these state-owned entities on why they have failed. There's an excuse. You will never find any acknowledgement in any of these state-owned entities. You will never find any acknowledgement. Ask about Transnet. Ask about Post Office. Man, you can ask about all of these state-owned entities. There's always excuse, man, waiting there. Even if, man, these people get out of power, you see when it comes to ESCOM, they will keep saying that ESCOM, ANC was sabotaged with ESCOM. They will never agree that the African National Congress was incompetent to run ESCOM. They will never acknowledge that the ANC has appointed people who don't know what they are doing at ESCOM. They will never say that. They will say the African National Congress was sabotaged. These are kind of leaders that black people are so obsessed with. And when I come here and say those things, they say, no, Thomas, you are harsh on black people. You are harsh on black people. You are not so harsh on white people. I don't know why do I need to be harsh on white people when we have a black government destroying black people's lives. There's no need for me. They say, yeah, Thomas, you are so harsh on black leaders, man. When are you going to be harsh on the white leaders? Man, you are simply trying to deflect. You are simply trying to deflect. These are the people who are running the country. These are the people who are making the decisions that are affecting you each and every day. Why should I be out there and being harsh on other people? And more, I'm a black person. I need to be harsh on my people. I need to be harsh on my people because clearly our people are sleeping. Our people are sleeping. There's no way that today in 2024 people still see Fikile Mbalula as a celebrity. There is no way that black people today, they still see these people, man, as some kind of demigods instead of public servants. And people want me to go out and make noise about white people. People need to stop deflecting, man. We need to bring as much pressure as possible on the African National Congress. These people who are trying to play the racial games, man, they are not going to work here. They're not going to work here, man. I'm so focused at these people, man. Because I want my conscience to be clear. After the elections, after black people have voted for the African National Congress, I want my conscience to be clear to say that, guys, I've done my part. They've made their own decisions, but I've done my part. And I think the people in this country, man, we need to come together in terms of getting rid of the African National Congress. This thing of saying you are so harsh on the ANC, you don't talk about the other stuff that other political parties are doing. Man, you are not going to get other stuff that other political parties are doing here, because here the main purpose, we are going to get rid of the African National Congress, and after that, man, we can debate. The moment we get rid of the Fikile Mbalulas, the moment we get rid of Cyril Ramaphosa, man, we can debate. It's open season. But we cannot have conversations with the African National Congress. South Africans need to understand that the conversations that are going to be had about our future, we cannot have those conversations with the African National Congress. They do not deserve a seat on that table. They don't deserve that seat.
The question of load shedding, we know that it will be something of the past, because there is a determined board and the staff at ESCOM that shows that they are working towards doing away with load shedding.
I mean, Fikile Mbalula needs to stop lying to the people of this country, man. There is no evidence that those people there at ESCOM, they are working to fix load shedding. There is no evidence that the ANC is working to fix load shedding. There is no evidence. I mean, even ordinary South Africans can tell you on the streets that, man, the African National Congress, they don't know what they are doing at ESCOM. People can tell you, even ordinary South Africans, man, you don't need the political pundits, you don't need us, the political commentators, you don't need us to talk about these things, man. You can talk with average South Africans. They will tell you that the ANC don't even know what they are doing at ESCOM. There is no evidence, man, that these people are working to fix ESCOM. There is no evidence.
Of course, it is very clear that the state must not rule out the possibility of sabotage, which is aligned to major events in the country. There are many questions that ordinary people like ourselves.
First of all, Fikile Mbalula, first of all, you are not an ordinary South African. You are not an ordinary South African. You are not experiencing load shedding. I can tell you today that Fikile Mbalula has an alternative when the lights go off. Ordinary South Africans do not have an alternative when the lights go off. So Fikile Mbalula and this thing of theirs trying to associate themselves with ordinary South Africans, it is not working, because you guys don't know what it's like to be an ordinary South African. You guys do not have the experiences of ordinary South Africans. You have an alternative. Ordinary South Africans will have to wait until ESCOM brings back the electricity. Today we woke up, there was no electricity, and the electricity only came back at 12 p.m. We are ordinary South Africans. We are waiting for ESCOM, not you guys. You are not ordinary South Africans. You are the executive. You are the elite in this country. You are the elite. You are living in the wonderland, you and Ramaphosa. That's why everywhere you go, you keep saying the ANC is doing an amazing job, because you and your father, Cyril Ramaphosa, you are living in that wonderland where everything is working. You are not an ordinary South African, man. And I feel like it's an insult for Fikile Mbalula to call himself an ordinary South African.
We ask about load shedding and how it is happening, and those questions point to the direction that it is very clear that there is a sabotage that we are.
I mean, you say this thing of sabotage. It frustrates me because these people have been talking about sabotage for the past 5 years. For the past 5 years, these people have been talking about sabotage. What have they done about their so-called sabotage? How many people have been arrested for this sabotage at Eskom? What have they done? They will always talk about sabotage every time when Eskom plunges into stage 6, stage 8 of load shedding. The first thing that comes out of these people's mouth is clear sabotage. It's clear sabotage. It's clear sabotage. But the question is, what have they done about this sabotage? It can't be that these people have been talking about sabotage for the past 5 years and they haven't done anything about it.
They are saying as the ANC that the state must up its gear in terms of investigating and looking at that particular possibility. As we work towards doing away with load shedding, which we're confident that the work that is being done will eventually lead us to permanent doing away with load shedding. But the sabotage must not be ruled out in this regard. It is very clear, it's aligned to major events and seeking to embarrass the democratic state and showcasing the state as
It's funny when Fikile Mbalula says that there are people who are trying to sabotage the African National Congress and embarrass the African National Congress. I mean, like, the party is doing so itself. The African National Congress don't need anyone to embarrass them. They are embarrassing themselves each and every day. You don't need anyone to embarrass you, Fikile Mbalula. You embarrass yourself each and every day. You embarrass yourself each and every day. I don't know why would anyone go out and try to discredit the African National Congress. Man, the African National Congress has no credit, none whatsoever. You guys have no credit, none whatsoever. So for you to come out and say that there are people who are trying to embarrass the African National Congress, man, the African National Congress is an embarrassment. You, as the Secretary General of the party, you are an embarrassment. You people are embarrassing yourselves. You don't need anyone to come and embarrass you. You are embarrassing yourselves.
Inept in a particular way, and what has happened after the State of the Nation address.
It's unbelievable that people are willing to give the likes of Fikile Mbalula another chance, man. It's unbelievable that people were watching Cyril Ramaphosa lying to them during that State of the Nation address, but for some reason people still want to vote for these people, man. I don't know what's this obsession, man, with South Africans and the African National Congress. I honestly don't know where this obsession comes from. I don't know where this obsession comes from, man. I don't know if the country will ever get rid of the African National Congress, because we say whatever that we want to say. We come on these platforms, we talk about how bad the ANC is, we talk about what the ANC is doing to the people, but for some reason, man, the people are still voting for the African National Congress. For some reason, the people still love the African National Congress. And it is so hard. It is so hard, man, to convince people that, guys, stop it with this African National Congress thing of yours. Stop it with this ANC thing of yours, because, man, the country is destroyed. What more do people need? What more do people need the African National Congress to do to South Africa? The country is already broken down. The investors left the country. The companies have closed. People have lost their jobs. Crime is totally out of control. Man, we are a failed state. We are a failed state, man. We are a failed state. But for some reason, in this country, people still want to give the same kind of people another chance to rule over you. I don't see, man. I don't think there's any hope for South Africans, man. I honestly don't think there's any hope for South Africans, man. By the time South Africans actually wake up, it will be too late. It will be too late. By the time we wake up, it will be too late. We won't have a country anymore. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mbalula, so I will see you next time. Bye-bye.